Michael Nagy here with Jiggy Jag TV and DiscoveringBands.com. And for everyone watching, if you share this video on my channel and help support the awesome bands I feature. And today I'm here with Warm Gadget. How you doing today?
Fantastic. Pretty good. Can't complain.
It's great to have you. Now, you want to start off and give us a little history about the band and tell us about the band for anyone who's not familiar about you guys?
Sure, go for it. We've been around a while. We actually technically started it back in like 2009, 2010. Put out a record then. We used to play as like a full band, but we always started out as like electronic, kind of industrial-ish, you know. But and then we put out a full-length record in I think 2014, 2015. And then an instrumental record with an electronic label called Component in 2016. And then we took a break for a while, just life and stuff. And then we kind of started writing new material later last year. And then we just put out a new record called Rituals this late spring. So got a new record out.
I want to say you guys said you started off kind of electronic industrial. It sounds like it's more metal industrial now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You know, we've kind of run the gambit. It started off as mostly electronic industrial, but behind all of that, we both had a shared love for film scores, mostly in the horror vein. And I guess just that kind of aggressiveness and all that stuff eventually bled in. I mean, we've done some film scores as Warm Gadget. I guess it's been progressing more and more towards heavier and darker sounds.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, but that's just this new record just kind of turned out that way. I don't know why, but I mean, we like heavy music, but we also like moody, like he said, film scores and old school industrial rock and stuff like that. But you know, at the end of the day, too, we like heavy music a lot, and that just like it's kind of unavoidable when we write together. So ends up being a little bit on the heavy side.
Hey, I like the new album a lot. And how long were you guys working on that for before you released it?
Not that. I think the first couple songs I started to work on like late last fall. So like October, November last year when we first kind of started writing. So really it was just kind of written over the course of the winter, really. And then this spring we just kind of fine-tuned like the mix and masters. So, but I would say the majority of it was written and produced and all the production was done over the winter.
Came together pretty quick.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. I mean, you know, it takes a while to mix and master for sure if you're going to take your time. So I wonder if we probably spent just as much time mixing and all that and mastering as we did actually writing and tracking the stuff.
Cool. And with being an EP, are you planning to do a full-length album next?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Yeah, we're working on a full-length right now. We've got a ton of stuff, a bunch of new songs. We're working with a bunch of other people, some collaborations and stuff. But we could have made this one a full length, but we just were like, we got to pick a spot to stop because otherwise we're just going to keep going. And this could end up being, we could have worked on it for the rest of the year. So, but we just kind of picked the five songs that we felt like that all work together. And then we had some remixes from some other artists that we liked, and we thought, well, these just work. Let's just put them out instead of keep going because we have a ton of more songs. So the next one I think will definitely be a full length.
I think we're going to also keep trying to do throw in a couple of remixes from other artists on the recordings, no matter how many originals we actually put onto the recording.
So basically, you just want to get some material out now for everyone and then deliver the full-length album.
Yeah, because we could have just kept going, and we're like, well, let's just stop and pick a batch of songs that all work together. And we got some of the remixes back, and we're like, this is a good chunk. Like, let's just put this out. So, because some of the other songs started to like go in a different direction, and they didn't necessarily fit the vibe of those, so we thought, well, these just work, so let's just stop, put it out, and then we'll just keep working on the rest of them. Because the next record is going to be kind of all over the place. It's even heavier at times. It's even moodier and slower at times. It's going to be I think it's going to be a pretty different sounding record. I would say it's like just kind of all over the place. I don't know what Tim says, but
Yeah, it's a lot different. Not as cohesive, I don't think, but that's not a bad thing in any way, shape, or form. Also, back to the EP versus full length thing. You know, I think EPs are great. It doesn't seem like people have the want or maybe even the attention span to sit down and listen to an entire album front to back of 12 songs. So, you know, pops them real quick and then they can get on with their day.
yeah.
So can you go ahead and maybe give us a little more details on the themes of the Ritual album?
You want to do that one?
The themes, you know, musically is one thing. Colton did all the writing and instrumentation, aside from a couple of guest spots. So as far as musical themes go, that's entirely on him to discuss. Lyrically, the themes range all across the board. We stuck with the name Rituals, and I just kind of tried to strike out on things that I see as rituals just all across the board with friends, family, humans everywhere. Rituals being the things that we do that we all think that we're so individualistic and we're so unique, but we're creatures of habit, and we all usually carry things out in a similar manner, whether that's the way we act in relationships, the way we act in our jobs, the faces we put on for other people, all that stuff, realistic. And yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I kind of covered the gambit lyrically from, you know, cliche things like love and hate. There's a lot of stuff in there, stuff about abuse, substance abuse, triumph. It really kind
Relationships.
relationships. It's all over the board, from this end of the spectrum all the way over to this end, and then circling through the underworld back up.
Awesome. Now, if people want to look you up online, find your music, social media, how do they do that?
Shoot, it's easy. Just Warm Gadget. Like, we're pretty easy to pop up. Like, it's just Warm Gadget on Instagram, just Warm Gadget on Facebook, and you know, on Spotify, all that stuff. Just Warm Gadget. I mean, if you Google us, you'll find a lot of our stuff like Discogs, and you see all the stuff we've done. But also some weird stuff's gonna come up because you're gonna get stuff people trying to sell you like warm gadgets. That's of course gonna pop up, but you're gonna see us though too. Like musically, we're the only thing that's gonna come up. So we're pretty easy to find.
YouTube, yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, YouTube, all that stuff. We're easy to find. So there's plenty of stuff out there to find if anyone's interested.
And if you search for us and you don't find music, but you do find some sort of warm gadget, just pick one up.
Yeah, who knows what it'll be? I don't know anymore. Like when we picked the name when we first started out, we thought it would be a good searchable name, which it still is, but we never really thought about what else would eventually come up over the years.
Techno.
Just like ridiculousness, but we've been around long enough and we have enough work out there and stuff that you'll find stuff for sure. All live performances. We've done a lot. We've been in the, because we're kind of that, we're heavy, but we're industrial and we're electronic too, that we've had one foot in the door of the electronic music world too, you know, working with electronic labels. So we've done a lot of remixes ourselves. We've remixed other artists. We've had our artists remix us. So a lot of stuff's going to come up if someone likes what they hear and they want to like search us. There's plenty of stuff out there to find. That's for sure.
Yeah, you guys have a very unique band name.
Yeah. Yeah, for better or for worse.
So how did you come up with that name?
I don't really know, man. People ask me that quite a bit, and I can't really say. I think when we first started out, this was like a studio project, and we got a label jumped on us, started courting us really early on with our demos. Like we weren't even a band. Like It's just Tim and I in a studio making music, and we had a label like jump on the demos so quick that we were like, holy crap, we're finding to be signed before we've even played a show. So we had to kind of pick a name fairly quickly, and that came up, and I kind of liked the way it sounded at the time. No one else had it, thought it was unique enough, and we just kind of went with it and never really thought about it again. So I think like a lot of bands out there, I think there's probably a weird connection to their name, like they might even hate it. Like like you pick something and then you don't think about it again. Next thing you know, years go by and you're like, that's what we went with. Well, I mean, that's what we went with, and we never thought that I don't know. We didn't really have a plan to. We just things started rolling for us so quickly, and we just kind of kept staying at it the way that we do, which is we're kind of a weird band. So
we were going to call ourselves Michael Jackson, but that was already taken. So
yeah.
So do you guys have any plans to play live anytime soon?
I'm sure we will. We don't have anything on the books right now because, obviously, like, with everything going on, but we've played a lot of shows. We used to, before we took a break, we were playing all the time. We played with, real drummers. We played with drum machines and laptops. We've done it all. Like, we used to play quite a bit. We easily could now too, but we've honestly, we're just so busy, both of us, with everything, and we're kind of just more so having fun right now, writing a bunch of new material, and really we geek out on the production side of it. So that's just been our focus, is just making a bunch of new music. Eventually, I'm sure we're just gonna get that itch to play again. So I'm sure it'll happen. But right now, we're just in writing mode. We're just enjoying writing stuff.
I think that's kind of where we've always felt the most comfortable. I mean, we've been in many bands over the course of our years of being musicians, and we've played a ton of live shows in those bands, as well as Warm Gadget. But for us, it's really always been the process of writing and creating. I mean, that's how it started. That's what drove us to start making short film scores. That seems to be where we really thrive. Mm-hmm. We thrive as well on stage, but it's so not futile, but it's there and then it's gone, and we can spend this time making something else that will just keep living on.
Yeah, we started as a studio band, and we still have that mentality. We just things took off for us in the beginning to where we felt like we had to make a band because we were getting asked to play shows, and we were getting asked to open for bigger bands at the time. So we kind of Tim and I just put a band together very quickly just because the people were bugging us to do it. But still, really, like, we still think of this as a studio band. I mean, we literally have IMDb credits scoring horror movies as Warm Gadget. So that might give you a good idea what kind of band we are. Like, we definitely can go play a show and pull it off fine, but I think we're more of a studio band first and foremost.
What are some of the bands you had played with and shared the stage with?
Shoot, like all over the place. Like anywhere from Power Man 5000 to like what was that one that you said? Yeah or no, or the one that the UK.
Oh stuff? Yeah, I mean, we've done a ton of stuff. Power Man 5000, UK subs. We were supposed to open a couple of dates for High on Fire and Indian. That was in the middle of a winter storm, and they had to completely divert around our area. Or I don't even think they were able to move at all. I think they were stuck in Portland, Oregon. So
yeah, we're based out of Bend, Oregon, which is about 3 hours from Portland, and we're kind of up in the mountains. So anytime a heavy band would come through Bend, we would usually get the call, like, will you guys come open, because there's not a lot of heavy music here. So we were kind of a go-to there for a bit. And then we would drive to Portland and play shows too, or Portland, Eugene, Corvallis, But being like a band that we are in this area, there's not really a heavy music scene. So we've been pulled in to open for all kinds of random heavy stuff and festivals. So, but we've also both of us have been in other bands ourselves as well. So we could put together a gigantic list of the big bands we've opened for. I don't want to go into it, but between the two of us, it's a big list.
Michael Jackson was probably the number one.
So you guys said you were in multiple different bands over the years. You still in any other bands, or just this project right now?
We're both in other bands too. Yeah.
Currently?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we always have been. Like, that's how we met, is we were in other bands playing shows together, and we just were friends, and we always we both kind of had a love for industrial heavy music, and it's inevitable, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's how, I mean, we shows together at a young age, and are in different bands though.
3 years old.
Yeah, like barely out of high school.
And where would you guys like to see Warm Gadget maybe in a few years from now?
Yeah.
Functional. That's
Yeah.
that would be the biggest thing for me. Just still doing things the way we want to do them. Still getting our music out there. We'd love to get some label support again. We've had it in the past. We'd love to get it again. It's just an easier way to reach a much larger audience than we can reach on our own. The future's wide open, Michael. It's wide open for everybody, especially for us.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to what you have coming up in the future, and it was good talking with you guys, and everybody look them up.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. We appreciate you reaching out to us and having us on here. We'll, as soon as we get new stuff up, which it's gonna be up soon, we'll send it your way right away. In fact, we were even kicking around the idea of putting out a single fairly soon too, before and stuff. So, because I know a lot of people kind of like doing that these days. So we got a bunch of stuff, and we've got some really cool collaborations with some other artists, with players that are on this new record that some of them I can't even mention because we were like, how the hell did this even happen?
Yeah, it'll come out when it all comes out.
You know, so we've got players on this record that are literally like my heroes, you know? So it's kind of crazy that they've come around to us. It's like, what? So we got a bunch of new cool shit coming, and yeah, we'll send it your way like as soon as it's done.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.